Hi Anna.
Hi.
So what did you want to talk about today?
Well, I've played two games before in my class, one on Nearpod and one just for fun, and I don't get on the leaderboard even if I get everything correct. So I'm a little concerned about that.
Okay.
So one is called Kahoot, and we play that for fun, like science and stuff like that.
hmm
And if you get one question wrong on that, like even if you get everything else correct and you get that one wrong, it takes you off the leaderboard and you don't win the game.
Okay.
So that's a little confusing. So I try to get them right, but I can't because if I get just one question incorrect, I think I'll be fine. And then it takes me lower on the leaderboard, and then I lose the game.
Okay.
I was only on the leaderboard once in third place.
So can you tell me a little bit about what that's like when you're playing the game and you're thinking you could be on the leaderboard and then you find out that you're not?
Well, sometimes I do get on the leaderboard, but sometimes I don't. Because it like tells me the place underneath. It tells me the place. It gets really.
Okay, hold on. So I'm sorry about that interruption. You were telling me about sometimes you do get on the leaderboards. Tell me about that.
So sometimes I get on the leaderboard, and sometimes, and most of the time I don't, which is very annoying because even if you get that one question incorrect, then you're off the leaderboard or you're lowered on the leaderboard points.
So you feel annoyed when just one question will take away all of the questions you got right, and ultimately you won't end up on the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's very annoying
Yeah.
and confusing sometimes.
Okay.
And then there's another game that
Hold on a second. What is confusing about it?
what's confusing is because even if I get all the questions correct, like in the whole game, I'm not on the top three, which is strange.
Okay, so sometimes you get all of the questions right, and you still don't end up on the leaderboard, and you're like so confused because you think, what happened? Why wasn't I on the leaderboard?
Yeah, it's really confusing.
Okay, I can understand that. What does it mean to you to be on the leaderboard?
It would be, I'd be really excited, but like now this isn't very exciting
Okay.
because like I keep losing at these games. There's also another game.
Hold on. So being on the leaderboard would make you feel super excited. And so now when you play these games, you don't feel as excited because you're like, oh, I could get just one question wrong, or I could even get them all right, and I still won't end up on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound really frustrating. Yeah. Okay, so you want to tell me about this other game too?
Yeah, the other game is called Time to Climb, and normally I play it on Nearpod lessons, and if you get like 2 or 3 questions incorrect, you get lowered to reaching the mountain. And normally in the leaderboard, you go from all the students, and normally I'm in like 8th or 7th place. And it's really strange because normally I'm confused about Time to Climb because it's a bit harder than the other game we were talking about, which is called Kahoot. It's a little bit harder because the questions are like added to the details. So like if I'm in science class, it asks me science questions on what I'm learning. If I'm in enrichment, then it asks me like enrichment family members and stuff like that.
Okay.
And most of them I'm not sure of, so I get a little confused and then I just click the one I think is right and then it's wrong and then I get lowered in points.
Okay, so this game is a little bit harder than the other. And so sometimes it'll ask questions that you're not really sure of. And then what you see happening is if you don't get the questions right, you end up getting lower and lower. Okay, and what happens when you get questions correct?
Then you go higher and higher. And the goal is to get all the way to the top of the mountain.
Okay, and is that something you've experienced?
No, because I haven't been in the top 3 yet.
Okay, so that's this similar to the other game. You have to be in the top 3. You get all the way to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And so are you experiencing some of the same feelings? Like, are you feeling frustrated and confused with this game as well?
Yeah, because here's an example that actually happened. When I was playing it for Spanish, it said which one is grandma or grandpa or whatever, and it said abuela and abuela. And I was confused, and I clicked abuelo, and it was wrong.
Right, because abuelo's grandfather, right? Okay, and so what does that mean to you with this game when you're not climbing up and up the mountain and you're not getting to the leaderboard?
Yeah, most of the time I get higher and higher, like in the top part where you're supposed to go, but then I get lowered and lowered.
Oh, so it's frustrating because you see yourself getting higher and higher, and then all of a sudden when you start getting questions wrong, it goes lower and lower and lower. Yeah, I can see how that could be frustrating. So what does it mean to you that you're not quite getting all the way to the top of the mountain?
It's very frustrating.
Okay, so you're feeling frustrated because of that. What would it mean to get to the top of the mountain? Do you feel like, what do you imagine that would be like?
If I got all the questions right and Emma wasn't so good at the game.
Oh, so maybe it would mean that you're just as good or if not better than Emma if you got up there.
Yeah, because she wins Kahoot. Most of the time she goes on the leaderboard. Most of the time it's like Zoe, Grayson, and Nate and stuff like that. But she sometimes wins Kahoot, and she wins Time to Climb every single time.
Oh, so there's this one person who always wins. All right. So do you feel like maybe there's a bit of jealousy there? Like you're feeling jealous because she's always at the top? I gotcha. And so, what do you think it means that you haven't been able to beat her?
Really frustrating.
No, what do you think it means to you that you haven't been able to beat her? What impact is that having on you?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I get really confused because sometimes in Time to Climb it doesn't say the names. It's just a star, 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 star. So I don't know who wins
until the end.
But when it does say the names, I know that Emma is always the one to reach the top first.
Okay. Do you feel there's any, like, I'm wondering, I guess, if there's sadness there too, that you feel like, she keeps winning and I'm not, and maybe you feel a little sad. Okay. What do you think that says about her that she keeps winning? Do you feel like that says something about who she is?
Yeah, because I feel like she might be the smartest kid in the class because she gets most of this correct. And there's a game on Go Noodle that we do sometimes, and it's called Think on Your Feet. And she mostly gets the questions correct.
Okay, so she seems like she's probably pretty smart because she does really well in these games.
Yes.
And so do you, with looking at how you do in these games, what do you think that says about you?
Well, I'm pretty good unless I get 1 or 2 or 3 questions incorrect, then it lowers me in points.
So, she is maybe like the top. She always gets that winner spot, but that, maybe you're also pretty smart because even though you don't get that top spot where she is, you do pretty well on the games too. Yeah, so you feel like you're probably pretty smart as well?
I just don't ever get a chance to show it because it never puts me on the leaderboard.
Okay, so it sounds like one of the frustrating things for you is that because these other people keep getting on the leaderboard and you don't, then the other students and your teacher don't quite get to see how smart you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some other ways you think you can show your teacher and your classmates how smart you are?
I really need to get on these games. I mean, I've played them about 10 or 15 times.
Okay, so you feel like you need to practice more? Okay, and so what are some other ways that you can, besides the games, what are some other ways you can show them how smart you are?
I can try my best on foundations tests and math tests, and I ready diagnostics and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. There are some other ways that you can show them how much you know and how hard you work, right? Awesome. So do you think those are some things you can try? You can work on those things and maybe that'll help. Do you think that'll make you feel maybe a little less sad, a little less jealous?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming in and talking with me today.